Good morning everyone, this is Travalgar Vallertine. How's it going today, guys? Today I'll be doing another car drawing. Today's going to be a Ford Fiesta XR2. So to start off with, I've just done a basic block shape here, another one on top, and just done the four wheels. So lightly in pencil, but you'll see, but it's just a rough guideline. I always use block shapes just to start off my cars and stuff, just to help with proportions and see where things are going. Okay, let's see now. I'm just going to sketch this with a biro, just a cheap biro. So I might just start with the front wheel arch. Just going to lightly sketch down. This bit of the wheel arch here, where you can less see, is smaller, slowly getting bigger. Now I'm keeping the line weight that's facing the sky, which is above here, a lot skinnier, and the one below a lot darker. Okay, let's do the bottom of the bumper. So it comes across. And let's do another line across. Then let's have a number plate just on here. Just like so. Let's do the front part of the Then let's do another line. This will hold the lights. And this part of the bumper sticks out a little bit. Just like so. Now continue this middle section just to the front wheel arch. This has two lights in it, two orange lights. It looks pretty standard, this car, but I'm not sure how modified it is, but I looked at the picture and thought it's pretty cool. I'll draw this. Okay, the top of the bonnet is going to come down from about here to here. Then the windscreen. Just like so. Yeah, let's do the headlights maybe next. So let's just sketch a light circle. You can use a template for this if you want to. There's lots of circle templates. I'm just sketching it lightly. Then a second pair of lights here. Then About the center, we'll do the Ford badge. Okay. Try a second line around these lights just to support them. Okay. Okay, maybe let's do the wing mirror. So I'm just sketching the windows. Okay, starting to get there, looking nice. The other wing mirror will come up there. Maybe let's sketch in the wheels. And then let's do the other wheel. I'm using the ruler there just to make sure it's the same level as this wheel here. You might also notice slightly that this angle is slightly angled towards here, so this section is bigger than this section. Just give that perspective. Okay, let's do the rear wheel arch. There's no particular order in what parts of the car you draw first, just whatever you find easier for yourself. It's good to get just an overall light sketch what I have now, just so I can maybe change a few things if I want to, but it's also good just so I can get a perspective of everything. Doors will curve around. The wheel rim. For the rear wheel, a little bit of the bumper there, it's a good angle. Okay, now I've got light sketches in, I might go on a few darker shades. See if this pen works. Maybe use a better one. Okay, that one pen works fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to adjust the line weight so I can create some more shadows. So majority of it's all going to be underneath. If you get your light source correctly, so for this light source it's going to come down from the top down. So everything on these top lines here could be a lighter shade. Everything from the bottom up is going to be a darker shade. I might use a thicker pen just for some of these other sections. Because this wheel is completely dark underneath, so I'm just going to completely jet black. And because this bit of the wheel, because it's facing outwards, it's got to have a little bit more light on it. So this is a line underneath. So it's getting there, yeah. Just sketching these dark places. Okay, and underneath here. And because this wheel is facing outwards, this could be a lighter shade of grey, so I'm going to not completely cover them in black. In the wheel arch here, we no light at all. Okay. Just like so. Maybe let's do the line underneath the grille. Just for the lower section of the wheels, maybe. And for the wing mirror. Okay, look at the photo reference, I just see it. I can extend this darkest shadow down. Okay, maybe that'll do just for the darker shadows, but you can see what kind of effect that's kind of give, just the dark contrast. Now what we'll need to do from these shadows is to create a gradual contrast between the light ones at the top. You do this with various different shades and colours and gradients, but we'll get there. Okay, well, now I've got a 0.2 uniball pen, and what I'm doing now is just fine tuning all these black lines I've just put in, just because it's a thick bullet tip pen marker, so it's hard to get like nice crisp edges. So maybe we can do more of the grill with this dark pen, maybe some more on the lights as well. Okay. Right, just zoom in just so you can see here a bit better. Just going around the lights here. So just inside here. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. So I'm just filling out the inside lines. Let's do a little bit of shadow just in these lights here. So let's do the same on these ones. I think the lights one's going quite complicated, but I know on the inside it's kind of curved, and there's going to be a darker shadow on the inside. Sort of, because it's all reflective and stuff, so I've kind of put this dark shadow on this side here to kind of bring depth to that side, but this shadow on this side here brings a depth to the lip that comes around, or the edge that comes around there. So I'll do the same for these larger wheels, larger lights. And I know it's like, when you look at the lights closely, it's kind of like a thin cross shape, so I'm just doing lines and dashes just to come down here. And because the lights are relatively in the same place on the car, I'm going to try and mimic on the opposite side. Okay, what else can I do next? I know I need to do some copic marker grey tones. I'm just trying to get the black tones in first. Maybe let's fine tune these edges here. Maybe let's do the grip actually on these tyres. Can you see that? Sorry, it's not taped down, so I'm moving it around when I can, when I've got a limited amount of space. So I'm just going to do some lines. And I'm just going to do these sideways block shapes. I'm just going to curl upwards with it. Just like so. Let's do the same on this side. There we go. I've kind of left it lighter toned in the centre, just to create that little bit of a highlight that comes in the centre of the tyre. Let's maybe do the wheel rim. So just do a thicker line just across here. Okay, I might just sketch more in pencil just so I've got the right idea where I want things to go. So it indents a little bit. I'll come up here. And there's 2 rows of 4 holes and 2 at the top. So let's do 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 4 there. Okay, and these are like holes in the rim. I think it's standard rims, I'm not quite sure. The air valve on the picture comes there. And because this is underneath inside the tyre, it's not going to have very much light, so I'm doing this bit darker. Okay, and then so I don't want to do a complete circle around it. I'm just going to leave it a little bit out there and do the inside darker. So you've got that inside line, but you also haven't got completely covered, so the line width's different. Just like so. I'll do the same for all the rest. Now I've just noticed the gap between here and here that are quite a lot larger than what I thought they were. So I'm going to move these ones up. But because I've got that light sketch there, it gives me an idea of what I'm looking for. just like so. Okay, I've just noticed there's a darker shadow that comes up here. I can bring this round. Smooth this out to a thin line. Just remember, it's important on the circle section here that the shadow is equal all the way around, and then when it tapers off it gets thinner and thinner. One of the biggest problems I had when I'm colouring around the circles is that the line wasn't equal all around. Okay, it made the wheel look so deformed. Okay, it's looking good. Smooth that bit out. There's a small line just coming up here. So. Okay, let's curl door shape in. It's important that if you do one action with the wrist, it comes up. It's better to draw with the shoulder really, but remember that movement. I try and mimic the same movement, just like so. And then for the door handle, okay, maybe let's do the rear wheel. Okay, same again. Okay, I'm going to try and get these lines from each other smaller just to get a bit of perspective. See if I can move this up a little bit. So, let's have a look. And just doing the blocks for the tread, just going up. Okay, let's do that wheel art rim again. Wheel rim, I don't know what you call it. You have to excuse me if my voice is a little slurred or tired. I do these videos 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm pretty pooped. Okay, that's alright. I might do these circles in pencil again. So maybe just try and, so this row, row. Just doing some lines here to give me a reference of where they are. Okay, I just noticed that because this wheel's further away and it's slightly more skinnier just the way it is, that I'm going to have to do these circles inside, a lot more narrower. I didn't notice that until the second row, but it should be alright. Just like so. What are the details? Need to do some more details just around the window trim. I notice there's quite a thick line at the top, so I'm actually just going with pen with that. This is where it overhangs a little bit. There's also, maybe let's do one on the windscreen. Okay. Do this round. I'm just going to bring this down further. Okay, it's a little bit wobbly, but I'll just fix that with a bit of shadow. I'm trying to do a small curve around here, but it's failed miserably. So I'm just going to fill it in. There we go. It's fine, it's fine. You won't believe the amount of mistakes I make doing these pictures, but I just go with it and just fix along. That's the way my brother taught me, just to fix the mistakes that's already there. It's fine. I used to start a whole drawing completely, but now we'll just fix the mistakes and it's working out fine. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, just thin this line out here. Okay, I think the only thing that's darkest left is the wing mirrors on the bottom, on the top. So let's just do the wiper arm going across here. So this one comes around there, this one moves on there, yep, that would work. Okay, so I think that would be good enough for the black lines. Just to zoom out, see what it looks like. It's important to try and just to step back after being so close, just to see how everything's coming out, and you might find I need to add a bit here, just a touch up here. Then you eventually just get the effect that you want. And the more pictures that you do, you'll more recognize this effect, if that makes sense. You more recognize how to actually achieve this effect in all these different layers that you have. And by the layers, I mean the different kind of pens on the mediums that you use. So for some of these cars, I do the pencil layer, then I do the inking layer with all the shadows, then do a copic marker layer, then I smooth out the copics with pencil layer on top, then I've got my gouache layer on top, gouache or acrylic white highlight layer. Then I've just got finishing touches. So it's like 6 layers up there, and the more pictures that you do, you can get closer and closer to how you want these layers to create a certain effect, and the smoother the transaction will be and the better it will achieve it. So I just noticed on this grill that I did before, I need to do some lines in between, some dark lines in between. Okay. Right, so maybe let's do the next grey colour for this. In my bag of tricks, I'm just going to test out this copper marker first. Just an old sketch. Okay, I should have put that over the top of the drawing in case I bled through, but it's fine. So this is like the next gradation tone. I might get the next one out while I'm here. There's blue-grey copic, let's try that. Okay, that'll be good for the top ones. And so look at this one, maybe for the next tone. Okay, so I've got like a 3-tone system there for my greys. So let's have a look. So these kind of just supplement the grey tones, the black tones I had before. Just kind of break up the transaction. So let's just do. Just going to roll some of these dark lines. Although it looks a little bit darker than at first, it does kind of show a bit light, which I can see by the first one I did there. Just slightly going around the rim here. paper I'm using is like 60 GSM, so it's very thin. So I'm just being very careful with this mark because it's bleeding ridiculously. Just being gentle with it. Just going over all the different dark tones, dark air tones. And just a little bit on this edge here, on the inside. Maybe just a little bit in the lights. Okay. Perhaps that will do for this layer. Don't go too dark. So let's get my next grey out. Just around here. This isn't the only way to actually draw the car. I'm just doing it this way. Just how I learned, and I went to school for this. I just practiced. So you've got no excuses saying you can't draw, because that's mine is. Just daily practice. I'm not ready for work soon. It's now getting quite late, so I'm going to have to stop soon. I'll probably continue this tomorrow morning. Okay. Okay, let's get in there. Let's go on to the next grey colour. Because this one's so light, I can go quite over the top, all these different lines and that. Kind of just cancels out the white in it, just make it pop out a lot more. Okay, it's just been a little bit of time since my last video, so this is my second video. And last night I decided to do this ground at the bottom, and a few other bits and pieces. It's just grey copic marker in between here with a little few black highlights, and then a few pencil lines just around it. So it's nothing too complex. I just did it off camera just because it was a little time consuming. But I went over a few grey bits here and there, but I've still got some more to go through. I need to do the inside of the car, well, indentations for it anyway. So I'm just going to do the inside here. So this is the reflection on the inside of the car. Oh, sorry, the shadow that's inside the car. So this shape here is mimicking this shape. Okay, there's a red line going across. Maybe I'll do that next. I found my little ruler, which is handy. So, just going with red pencil for this one. Okay, so it's got a nice red line going down. Maybe do the indicators as well. So I'm just using regular pencils here, they're not very expensive. I've got a variety. See what it says what it is. Colouring pencils, these are just like a cheap box of colouring pencils. There we go. And what next? And there. So I'm just doing a black line across here for a bit of shadow. Okay, what should I do next? I want to create a bit, there's going to be some trees in the background, so I want to create a little bit of a background of trees markings on here. So I'm just going with my green pen. Okay, you might do a little bit of purple just from this red line. I'll make this red line just a little bit darker, so I'm going to go with a copic marker. Okay. Do a little bit of sky colour just on the top edges. So I'm just doing a little bit of a blue. Okay, so I've got a little bit of sky colour in there. Maybe there's a little bit of black in there. I might do some highlights just on these wheels. So I need to keep nice highlight lines on the top here. Okay, and what can I do next? Maybe some more on this wheel. Okay, I might do some brown colour just on the bottom floor here. So, just a brown pencil over the top. Just like so, across here. Then maybe let's do a darker shade of brown for underneath the car. Again, just in pencil. Okay, so now I just do some of the background. bit of green there. Then for this bit, a few brown highlights underneath the vehicle. Okay, so that's a bit of black highlight on there. Okay, so just a few bits and pieces here and there. Pretty much just going backwards and forwards over different areas here and there, just to get desired effect. So pencils, pens. And get a little bit of a blue highlight here. Maybe a little bit of brown there. Highlight just there. Okay. That's some few pencil highlights here. Okay, I might add just a few white highlights. I think this gel pen works. So hopefully it does. So add some just in the lights here. White highlights. Just around all the different circles in the wheel. Just like so. Okay, then okay, so a nice one height there. Just working backwards and forwards over different highlights that I want to put in. Might put one in just here. I don't know what else to put. Add a white highlight across here. I add a little bit of sky colour just on top of here. I'll make it slightly darker, so Putting copic over these pencil lines just to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so I think that might call it. Just move it up a little bit, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's come to the desired effect. I'll probably find some other things that I can do once I finish this video, but I'm pretty happy the way it turned out. The biggest thing is I've just got to create a smooth transition between things, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't want to do too much one thing, too much of the other thing. But, maybe what I'm on thought, I might try and smooth out some of this pencil line at the bottom. I'm just looking at it. Maybe try and make it a little bit darker just underneath here. Okay, now I see my John Hancock, and we'll call it Trafalgar Valentine. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope this video was helpful anyways. So like I said, just gradual progression over the layers, sketching the copic markers, pencils, highlights afterwards, shadows, light, line weight. Remember to use paper underneath your paper so it doesn't bleed out through anything. Have a scrap bit of paper just to test out all your different colours beforehand. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. This has been a Ford Fiesta and Travalgar Vallertine. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back in another video quite soon.